Hi there, Pumpkin. Are we too early to crypto? I understand this might be confusing for you because you're a baby doll baby cake and wondering, how can you confuse me by saying we're too early now when we were too late? Let me tell you something. We're always too early and we're always too late. So cryptocurrency right now is a Ponzi degen casino fest and it is the greatest in the world. So don't knock that. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. But we are still too early for the true untapped potential of cryptocurrency. There are so many avenues that we need to unlock the power of crypto. Where am I going with this, friends? Have a look at this, okay? So Bitcoin carried the crypto industry for the first 6 years, 2009 to 2015. It was the first 6 years, okay? You see this wave? This was Bitcoin carrying the entire crypto. And this is just the Bitcoin chart, but the total crypto market cap did the same. Next, after Bitcoin's first big waves, Ethereum carried the entire industry from 2015 to 2021. Yes, this makes a lot of people angry. Yes, it did. It did carry the industry. Did you know Ethereum started at $20 in 2017 and then it went to $900 by the end of 2017? Wow. Ethereum's now a blue chip with Bitcoin. It is what it is. The first general purpose smart contract blockchain, and it was fundraised by Bitcoin as well for the ICO. So they are the industry standard. So the first 6 years was the epoch of Bitcoin. The next 6 years is the epoch of Ethereum. If you put these together, you'll notice I have a question mark here. You're like, uh-oh, what comes next? Well, we don't know yet, friends. This is why I'm telling you now. We are due for another blue chip creation. Does it exist already? I don't know. And our crypto cycle desperately depends on this. I promise you that. So whether we get the dark curse prophecy where we scam everybody and go down, or whether we get the friendship prophecy, it will depend on what is created. Do we get a blue chip or do we just get BlackRock ETF coming? Because that by itself is not going to be enough, because people just buying Bitcoin doesn't solve anything. Like if you go and buy gold and keep it in your basement, do you make anything for the world? No, you don't. Did you make the iPhone? No, you didn't. Did you make Amazon? No, you didn't. Were you making the Google search engine? No, you didn't. You see all these wonderful companies that came and changed everybody's lives and enhanced them. And Tesla, did you make a Tesla car by buying all the gold? No, you didn't. So you can see now stuff has to get created. Ideas have to be put together. So are we too early? Well, let me tell you something. I made a video and I talked about potential narratives. And it's this video here, friends. Juicy 12 narratives about the future. And whenever we come here, we can see all the different potential narratives. But of course, these are just narratives. We don't know which one of these, if any, will become an actual blue chip, because you really got to be a unicorn, man. There's only one Bitcoin and there's one Ethereum. Even though everybody tries to be them, there's only one. Nothing has been able to perform like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Nothing has been able to dip as little as they have and then recover and get all the developers and everybody to keep participating. So I want you to understand that even though the dark curse prophecy could still happen, it's possible we are just due for another part of the crypto business cycle, and that is to create another blue chip somewhere. We don't see anything happening right now, but hey, no one saw Ethereum back in 2014 either. So if you can go back in history, you'll never ever know what's coming for the future. You just have to believe. You just got to hodl. So there is one idea I want to put to you right now. This is going to blow your mind. Decentralized social media. So this will be something fantastic. And I just want to blow your mind because this is how early we can be to crypto. Okay, friends. So we could be so early to crypto right now. So you have Twitter, as you may have seen this website. All right. Now, on Twitter lands, you can see that there is no public wallet or anything. It's just everybody browsing their website. Everyone was just browsing it and posting and poopy posting towards everybody for free. I don't know if you know this, but Elon Musk is going to enable revenue sharing. So Elon Musk is putting in revenue sharing on Twitter. This will start to change the game and level it up. But see, we're still so early. Look at this. Okay, I'm going to show you. So even though he's putting in revenue sharing, what will happen is somebody who gets like 100,000 views, per month, they will be placed next to advertisements on Twitter. And so not only will Twitter make money, but the influencer, the person who's posting, like me, for example, maybe I make like, woohoo, 40 cents, woo, going to the moon. So as this happens, revenue share is now going to start to align financial incentives. Now, Twitter itself probably is not enough to be a blue chip, but it could be the layer of the blue chip. So what you could do, create, like, by the way, ideas are worth a dime a dozen, friends, because everybody's got an idea. But you could make a company here, right? You could literally make a company, and what it could do is it could use Twitter, it could use Uniswap, and it could use MetaMask. So I'm going to show you right now. So you have Twitter, then you have Uniswap, and then you have, of course, you have MetaMask, right? So Web3 wallet. And you might say, oh, how are we going to mix and match this into a blue chip? Let me present to you this cool idea. Because we're going to have revenue sharing and Elon Musk is going to make it like a public API, you could make a website that uses your signature from Twitter and your Web3 wallet. And what you can do is you can then share revenue with somebody else. So this idea was already made. It was called BitClout. Okay, BitClout was a scam pump and dump. Okay, I was in it and it was too ahead of its time. The rails, the infrastructure was not ready for crypto. So it's going to be called something else, like social friendship. Woo! We're just going to call something else. Okay, it doesn't even matter the words. But what they can do is you can then swap your share of yourself on your influencer channel because you are then making money. And so what you could do is, let's say you are somebody, you now have like, 100,000 followers on Twitter or whatever. Someone might value you as like 10 Ethereum. They might say, wow, you are worth 10 Ethereum. Let's say Ethereum's like 2,000. You're worth $20,000. What they can do is they can buy your share of your channel off you. And so now they will have 50%. So you might own 50% is you, 50% is the public market. And people just have an ownership in you. And so what you can do with this is then you can say, all right, well, if this person continues to be popular, continues to post content, right, then they should grow this because this value of 10 Ethereum, maybe you're worth, instead of $20,000, maybe in like 3 years, you'll be worth $200,000. And where would the revenue be coming from? It will be coming from Twitter, all because Twitter is now sharing the revenue. Isn't that fantastic? So you can start to see how these decentralized social media platforms, we're starting to mix and match and morph. But of course, this is why I'm saying, look what I said to you, are we too early to crypto? Baby doll, baby cakes. Yes, we are still too early to crypto. It's just a DJ casino. So right now, look at this. Twitter, it doesn't have the revenue share yet. And it doesn't even have all the wallets and all the access yet. That's how early we are. That's the first one. Look at number 2, Uniswap. Uniswap's fees are still atrocious. How can somebody, let's say you have a $1,000 account, people can't buy and swap like $10 worth, $3 worth, because the gas fees are too much unless they make their own. But now you have to see how the dream has to get bigger. You got to do more effort. So we are not ready. The infrastructure is not there yet. It's too expensive. Now, what about MetaMask? It's not even completely operational. The features in MetaMask are pretty poop, if you ask me. Everyone knows about it. There's just so many bugs. It's just not ready for that. It's not properly integrated everywhere. There's no MetaMask login for Twitter. But as you can see, I've now created here this like literally $1 trillion business idea. But ideas ain't worth anything, friends. If a peanut brain like me's got this idea, everyone's got this idea, okay? Ideas ain't worth anything. You got to get this implemented. You got to put this out there. And when you have something like this, now you have a killer application. So why did I decide to show this to you as one idea? It's because, let's go through this. You know when I showed you Bitcoin and Ethereum? Bitcoin think about this, it let every single degenerate drug addict in the world send value to each other across the internet. Any person, buy and sell. You could just transfer it. Any degen in the world, any drug addict in the world, any terrorist in the world, any person in the world. Okay, so have you noticed? Look, I emphasize any person, anyone. It's open for all. Then Ethereum came. Ethereum had the ERC20 boom here. Ethereum let any single person in the world create an ERC20. Any person in the world launch their own project, raise money in Ethereum using their ICO, general purpose smart contract blockchain. Any person can do anything now. The general world computer. It's so open. It's an open canvas. So that's what these blue chips in crypto tend to be. They tend to be an open canvas. All right. So they don't tend to be a specific little application that's very niche. They tend to be like the internet, like a big wide scope, a wide field. All right. What's the third one going to be? I don't know. I mean, can I tell you, Uniswap, man, I thought Uniswap was going to be a blue chip. If you go back, you check my prophecies, I thought, man, Uniswap technically is a blue chip. It's just that it doesn't get any revenue share to the tokens. If the token holders got the revenue share, Uniswap would be in one of the top 3 rankings. And I'm not joking. I actually made a video and I did the mathematics to show you that if Uniswap just gave 0.05% of its fee in its fee switch, if you add up all the volume it's done and that went to a buy and burn, Uniswap would be above BNB. Uniswap would be right under Ethereum. And that's what I assumed they would do. But unfortunately, they have too many insiders in there and they're too scared of being caught as security that they decide to grift everybody and cash everything out. Very sad, right, when you think about it. But blue chip creation, hey, Uniswap ticks all the boxes. It really does. You have Uni. Think about it. Uni even had the DeFi alt season. Uni let anyone in the whole world launch any coin. Think about that open canvas ability once again. Where comes the next part? I know ChainLink infrastructure is super critical. You see, Uniswap and all the other contracts on Ethereum, they are what we call dumb contracts. They're not smart. ChainLink lets you plug in heaps of other data. All right, now you open up the world. So because look at this, right? If you go back to this example, do you remember I said you need the Twitter public API? Do you remember this? This was one of the inputs. You actually need Twitter to open itself up for everybody to connect. Well, now you can see with ChainLink, ChainLink will now provide the guardrails for anyone in the world to give their API in. And then you can pay them for the API. Not only just Twitter. Think about Facebook. Think about Instagram. Think about Snapchat. TikTok. They'll eventually come. They'll try to make their own, but if everybody's on the world and interconnected, why would you? Like, did you know that back in the 1990s, Microsoft wanted everybody to use the Microsoft internet? They wanted to filter everything out. And the world did not choose that. The world chose decentralized internet. We did not, well, public open internet, really. And so we did not choose Microsoft private little intranet where they regulated everything. We wanted the open world, whatever that represented, okay? So it was the good and the bad with it. But that's just what society chose. So this is how early we are to crypto. We haven't made any of this yet. We are still a degen Ponzi casino. And hey, it's a great casino. It's great. But we're moving along the guardrails, you know? And I'd like you to know too. So once we put all of this together, I am not imagining this anymore. This has happened in history. I'm going to prove it to you right now. This has happened. Have you heard of anything called the NASDAQ? The US stock market, friends. Did you know that the US stock market already went through this? You know that the US stock market, so you had the internet boom here, and then it really took off. Internet boom was like right here. Look at this massive acceleration, this massive euphoria. You know, during this time, so I'm going to draw this box here. During this time, it reminds me exactly of what we have now in crypto. You know, in crypto, we're just buying and selling coins that mean nothing. Well, in the internet boom here, people were just buying and selling anything with a website. They were just buying and selling websites. There was no business behind them. There was no social media. There was no Uber. There was nothing. There was no search engines that were really viable. You know, there was Yahoo, but it wasn't really fleshed out. So all of this interconnectedness wasn't there. It was just people buying and selling the most absolute degenerate basic stuff, which is, hey, does that remind you of anything? That's exactly what we see in crypto today. People just buy and sell tokens, buy and sell JPEGs, buy and sell coins that are loosely related to a layer 1 governance right. We're buying and selling governance rights, which mean absolutely nothing because we all know the governance right is absolute trash, right? So now you can see we've done this before. So, but you know, then the piper comes and you got to pay him. So you have the disgusting depression zone. But hey, you have Apple, iPhone here. You have the social media. You have Facebook get created here. And then you have a big continuation of this technology. So we don't know if the fractal is going to play out itself. And I don't think it will because we have different mechanics here. We do move like a commodity. We are open and stuff. So a lot of these things, when you put them together, you get to see now. So I've just created this. I've literally created $1 trillion idea here with you. But you really can't do anything. Like, I got this idea, you know, you got no MetaMask plugin for Twitter, right? Uniswap is still stuck on Ethereum and the gas fees are too much. So even though if I went to, let's say I started revenue sharing my Twitter, for example, and let's say I was making like $10,000 a month on Twitter with all the views, and you wanted to buy an ownership on it because you thought it's going to be $50,000 a month one day in the future. Well, we can't even trade that. Where are we going to trade that? You need something like Uniswap, but it costs too much. What if someone wants to start with $100? So all these infrastructure plays, it reminds me exactly of the early internet. In the early internet, People were buying and selling ideas, but the internet wasn't fast enough yet. You did not have super fast cable. You did not have anything that we know and love today. You didn't even have phones where everybody could connect to the internet straight away. My mind blew when you started seeing phones that could load web pages super fast. They used to take like 60 seconds to load a page. Now you can do email and sending and photos. Many people don't even have computers. You're just using your phone the whole way because it does everything. Isn't that fantastic? Well, we've got a long way to go there. And let's just hope that we're going to be along for the ride. Of course, we're going to be along the ride because we have our friendship and no one else can take that from us. So what have we learned from all of this? We've learned that all these applications, they just delete them. You know why? Because they're just ideas. They're just ideas. I hope they come. Maybe they'll come. But really, at the end of the day, we are waiting for this sort of blue chip level up. This sort of blue chip level up is going to be critical to how crypto performs in the future. So, as I said, Bitcoin was the first 6 years. Ethereum was the next 6 years. Are we going to get something else? Well, we don't know yet. Let's just hope. You never know. The crypto industry is moving so fast. Maybe someone makes something super cool in 2024 and ignites some sort of big season and we realize, wow, we invented new tech again, And just to remind you, it's not necessarily AI. It's not necessarily anything else that exists right now. Someone has to make an application that retail somehow loses their minds over. Like absolutely goes nuts over. An open canvas. You can do anything now, And then don't forget, in my video, there are many stories. You have different possibilities. Don't forget, right? So, just to remind you, so zero knowledge proofs and these different modular blockchains this is making blockchains faster. So yeah, when we made the internet faster, we can then have Netflix. Netflix, the idea was around in the late 90s, but the internet wasn't fast enough. But once we made the blockchain super fast, maybe we'll get our Netflix equivalent. Right? So you can see these different solutions coming out. Now, I already went through the decentralized social media, which is great, yeah? But you also have different ones coming out, maybe real world assets, this one I'm less inclined to believe because real world assets require, people going to some sort of maybe intermediary. There's got to be a legal place, legal framework. It's just a lot of red tape put up. It's just all these lawyers and people trying to shark you everywhere. How are you really going to sign up your house or your car to get real world assets into? There's other things too, but you can get to see these roadblocks are out there. So, hey, you never know. Just to spark up the hopium and the copium, friends. Bitcoin now exists, but at one point it didn't. Ethereum now exists, but at one point it was just seen as a normal pump and dump scam. And now even Uniswap exists, friends. Uniswap exists, gave an alt season. And look, we had all these layer one, all these trading and all this gaming, NFT, metaverse. They're all possible only because Uniswap was the base layer. The tech, the code, right? The DEX itself, the ability to swap assets. Once that technology, people got used to it, it's out there. So perhaps something else is being created today, and even though this Bitcoin BlackRock spot ETF, might come and scam us, but if someone makes a technology, friends, hey, we're going to have both our hands on it because at the end of the day, even though Bitcoin, even if it does ultimately scam us at $85,000, that doesn't mean we can't have big alt season in the middle. Just friendly reminder, friends, my last message to you, the biggest alt season of crypto actually happened in DeFi season. That's where the real money was made. People were making ridiculous amounts of money. And look, Bitcoin had barely moved. Bitcoin and Ethereum were not moving that much, but we had a renaissance of a technology invention. So this is why I never ever give 100% probability in one thing, because it's possible that maybe Bitcoin and Ethereum just do this sideways for like 9 months and we have a big technology burst again. It is possible, but before we hope and we cope, I want to see that technology out there. I want to see, does anybody get a good smell of it? Are there any content creators who are talking about this new cool tech? Because just another camp, just another reminder to you. So what I've heard is DeFi was being spoken about at the end of 2018 by the super deep Ethereum nerds, the Ethereum maxis, the people who push the industry forward, those super intelligent people. They were talking about the DeFi industry. So are there any equivalents now? I feel like if it was out there, we kind of would have heard about it by now. But that doesn't mean it can't start in 2024. And with that, friends, don't forget, like, subscribe, press the bell button and all. Don't forget, mum and dad, we're going to be around for the next wave of crypto, and we're going to still make it. Catch you in the next one.